As the seasons shift and cool breezes begin to sweep through the landscape, there's no better time to turn our attention to the coziest spot in the home, the fireside. In many traditional homes, the fireplace isn't just a source of warmth, it's a gathering place, a moment of stillness, and often, the emotional center of the room. Fireside living has taken on new meaning in recent years, evolving from simple seating arrangements to thoughtfully designed havens of handmade charm and lived-in elegance. This narrative explores how to create a fireside space that honors imperfection, embraces craftsmanship, and echoes the relaxed, soulful rhythm of American home life. In a world of fast furniture and digital distractions, more homeowners are finding peace in the handmade. Fireside decor, especially in a culture that values warmth and history, is being redefined through the use of hand-carved mantels, ceramic vases with asymmetrical edges, and rustic wooden shelves that proudly show their knots and nicks. These imperfections tell stories. They embody the maker's touch. And when paired with the flicker of firelight, they exude authenticity and emotional resonance. Handmade imperfect beauty stands in quiet defiance of the polished showroom aesthetic. Instead of sterile perfection, think of chipped pottery mugs left out for cocoa, woven throws with a hand-stitched patch, and time-worn leather chairs that creak with memories. These aren't just objects, they're companions to daily life. In fireside design, they offer texture, warmth, and a visual reminder that beauty often lies in the undone. Layering is essential in any cozy fireside setup, and textiles carry the soul of the handmade aesthetic. Consider draping naturally dyed linen throws across a deep armchair or layering a braided wool rug beneath the hearth. Hand-woven blankets, even with a few loose threads, invite touch and tell stories of generations past. A stitched pillow with uneven embroidery might not win design awards, but it will spark conversation and admiration for its human touch. Ceramics have long had a place in fireside decor, especially when embracing imperfection. A roughly shaped clay pot holding dried eucalyptus or pampas grass adds organic character to the mantel. Burnt umber, sandy beige, and smoky gray glazes echo the fire's palette. Let these handmade vessels crack slightly, warp at the rim, or reveal fingerprints. These nuances bring warmth that mass production cannot. Designing around a fireplace means designing for togetherness. Arrange seating in a circular fashion to encourage eye contact and connection. Incorporate mismatched chairs, each with a story, perhaps a flea market find or a hand-me-down rocking chair. Around the fire, these diverse elements form a patchwork of personality that reflects the layered nature of handmade decor. Hand-finished wood brings soul to a fireside space. Whether it's a mantelpiece made from reclaimed barn wood or a bench carved from a fallen tree, wood that shows age and use adds character. Sanded corners, visible grain, or even small tool marks become part of the visual story. Wood connects us to the earth, to tradition, and to each other. Fireside design thrives in earthy, muted palettes. Rusts, ochres, mossy greens, and clay reds mimic the natural world and enhance the fire's golden glow. These tones are also common in handcrafted decor, where dyes are often plant-based and naturally irregular. Embrace these fluctuations in hue, they're what make handmade pieces so emotionally compelling. Stacks of well-loved books by the fireplace are both practical and poetic. Add in woven baskets filled with firewood, and you've got layers of texture and intention. The key is to blend utility with story. Display a vintage matchbox collection, a handmade candle snuffer, or a log holder welded by a local artisan. Plants near the hearth may seem unusual, but dried arrangements and hardy greenery add life without demanding constant care. Think wild branches in uneven clay pitchers or dried lavender bundled with twine. These elements tie back to a love of the land and remind us that imperfection is also part of nature's design. The mantle should feel curated, not calculated. Mix framed sketches with handmade ceramics, taper candles in brass holders, and family heirlooms like an old clock or a handmade quilt block. Let the items overlap, tilt slightly, or show wear. This isn't about precision, it's about personality. Every fireside chair should have a tale to tell. A wingback with frayed upholstery, a handmade rocking chair, or a tufted floor cushion sewn from vintage fabrics all offer character. The goal is to invite people in, not to intimidate them with perfection. Provide comfort and a hint of nostalgia in every seat. Candlelight and ambient lighting are essential to complement the flickering fire. Hand-dipped taper candles, beeswax pillars, or lamps with hand-thrown bases keep the theme grounded in craft. Let light bounce off imperfect surfaces, wrinkled linen shades, brushed brass, or stained wood, to create an atmosphere that feels lived in and layered. Wall decor above the fireplace often becomes a focal point, so skip the mass-produced prints. Opt for hand-painted canvases, fabric tapestries, or even a collection of children's artwork in wooden frames. Art in this context is meant to evoke memory and emotion, not just match a color palette. Design for rituals: a tray for tea, a hook for a favorite sweater, or a shelf for evening journals. The fireside becomes more than a decor statement, it becomes a way of living, an invitation to slow down. These small rituals are amplified by the handmade items that support them. As seasons change, so too should your fireside. Swap wool for cotton, pine cones for dried florals, and heavy throws for linen. Let the space evolve organically, using handmade or foraged pieces that reflect the season's texture, light, and rhythm. The fireside can host family game nights, solitary reading sessions, or intimate conversations. Its handmade design isn't just about appearance, it's about energy. It welcomes you, whether the room is full or you're savoring quiet alone time with a warm mug and a flickering flame. A vital part of this design philosophy is supporting artists and makers. Find potters, weavers, carpenters, and metalworkers in your area. Their work adds authenticity and fosters community. When your space is filled with handmade beauty, you're not just decorating, you're storytelling. Fireside living, when paired with handmade imperfect beauty, becomes more than a style, it becomes a feeling. It's a return to slow, intentional living. It's warmth, not just in temperature, but in spirit. By embracing the handmade and imperfect, we honor the human experience, and our homes become places of depth, comfort, and connection. So let the fire crackle, let the clay chip, and let your home tell its story, one handmade detail at a time.